Re, if Yahawahshi was on the planet Earth, what group would he be with? Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawahshi, Bahasham, Rakha Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahawahshi's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawahshi. Call Holayum La Alahaya Nawa to our precious power Yahawah and to our precious Lord and Savior Yahawahshi. This is the brother Yashamai coming back at you with another video, which will be a response video to a video that was originally done by the brother Kazak from the Missouri camp, and a response video that was done by the Apostle Gabar. And in this response video, I wanted to use scripture. Okay? Not going to come out of my own mouth. I'm not going to come out of my own heart, because what does the scripture say? The heart is deceitful above all things, and that's really wicked. But I am going to use the holy scriptures to prove that if Yahawahshi was on the planet Earth today, he would be a part of Great Millstone. And the reason why I say he would be a part of Great Millstone is because Yahawahshi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, he had a righteous spirit on him. And we know that when he walked the earth 2,000 years ago, of course, we know that his main feature that he was known for was being perfect when he died. Because when he was here on the planet Earth, he kept the laws, statutes, and commandments perfectly. Okay? So Yahawahshi died, he was crucified being a perfect man. And we brothers here at Great Millstone, we fight and strive every single day to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Now, another feature that Yahawahshi was known for when he came on the earth 2,000 years ago was he was all about his father's business, okay? He did not walk the earth 2,000 years ago to glorify himself. He did not come for his own fame or glory. Yahawahshi was not a sellout. He did not sell out to the Romans, And we know that Yahawahshi was a humble man. He was a humble man who made himself of no reputation, but took upon himself the form of a servant. And that's what we brothers here at Great Millstone do. We take on the form of a servant. We don't come in the spirit of, having our chest, pumped out with our heads facing the sky, like some groups that we know. Okay, so one feature that we know that the vast majority of these false Israelite groups don't do is they do not go out in the wintertime and teach. Okay, now, as it is written in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. Okay, so in season is talking about, when it feels good outside, it's warm, or it might be hot out with a beautiful breeze. It might be a blue sky, it might be sunny, business is booming and popping, the chief place of concourse is going wild. And it just, plenty of people that you can preach to, plenty of fish to fish for, because remember, the Lord said that he will make us fishers of men. And who are we fishing for? We're fishing for the Lord's elect. That's who we're fishing for. We're fishing for the Lord's elect. Okay? We don't care about the rest of the people of the world. Okay, we're looking for the Lord's elect. Now, if you notice, it said out of season. This is the most unfavorable time of the year where these false Israelite groups don't like to go out and teach. Okay, so out of season would be when it starts to get chilly outside, when the heat starts to leave the earth, when it starts to get cold outside, when there's snow on the ground, when the cold wind is blowing. Nobody wants to deal with this element, right? But then they'll be quick to call themselves elder or high priests or bishops, right? But they won't go out in the cold and teach. And we know what the scriptures say about a sluggard. Now we know that Yahawahshi was no sluggard, okay? Yahawahshi was always out there preaching and doing his Father's work. So we know that Yahawahshi would not be a part of 14th Street Israelites, because the 14th Street Israelites, they don't go out and teach in the wintertime. We know that Yahawahshi would not be a part of GOCC because they don't go out in the wintertime and teach. We know Yahawahshi would not be a part of HOI because they don't go out in the wintertime and teach. Or if not, the vast majority of their group do not go out in the wintertime and teach. Okay? We know that Yahawahshi would not be a part of IUIC because they don't, for the most part, they don't go out in the wintertime and teach. There's only one group that really goes out every week in the wintertime and teach, and that's Great Millstone. So it says, preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season, reprove. So while you're out there on the highways and hedges, you're supposed to reprove, which means, reprove means to correct. Rebuke, okay? Rebuke, exhort, which exhort means to encourage with all long suffering and doctrine. Ooh, and long suffering, right? Let me tell you something. Yahawahshi was all about suffering. Okay? A lot of these false Israelite groups, another reason why they don't go out in the wintertime and teach is because they don't want to have to deal with the suffering of standing out in the cold for a certain period of time. Now, our teachers in Great Millstone taught us that we got to learn to suffer in this truth. You got to learn to suffer. Because suffering is how you become a man. You become a man through suffering. You're not going to become a man through going through constant comfort. No, you become a man through suffering. That's why, and this is one of my most favorite quotes, even until this very day, a quote by Bruce Lee. He said, pray not for an easy life. He said, pray to endure a hard one. Pray to it. Now, why would he say that? Because when your life is just constantly easy, when you're not really going through anything, when something harsh suddenly comes upon you, you're not going to know how to deal with it. That's why Edomites, right? When they lose their high-paying jobs, when they start losing their businesses, their first instinct is what? To commit suicide. Because they was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. You know, they was born living this comfortable life of pleasure. You know, their whole life was nothing but comfort. They always got what they wanted. They was almost never told no. Their parents spoiled them. Well, what I mean by spoil, I'm not saying spoil as in plunder or steal from them, but spoil them by basically giving them whatever they want. You know, when they was a child, they always got what they wanted. You know, if they wanted the latest bike, they got it. If they wanted the latest skateboard, they got it. If they wanted the latest game system, they got it. If they wanted the latest video game, they got it. The latest TV, they got it. The latest movie, the latest DVD player, the latest satellite to watch different TV shows, they got it. Especially these rich Edomites, okay? These rich Edomites, they have it good. They don't have to work. They don't have to lift a finger. They can sit at home, get on the bong, smoke crack all day, do drugs, play video games, listen to the party rock music. You know, they throwing house parties damn near every month. You know, their life is just a life of comfort. So once they start to lose it all, their first instinct is to kill themselves. So you gotta honor and love the fact that Bruce Lee made that quote. Pray not for an easy life, but pray to endure a hard one. Because when you learn to endure a hard life, then it becomes easy. It starts to become easy to deal with the hardness of life. And when you go through things in your life, you start to come up with ways on how you can overcome it without jeopardizing the so-called freedom you have left. You see? You know, when you have no toilet paper, your first instinct is what? To go downstairs, get some paper towels, and use that. You see? When your car breaks down, your first instinct is to what? Calm down, carefully assess the situation, call your boss, let them know that something went wrong with your car, and you know, you're going to be showing up late. You see? When a customer curses you out at your job, your first instinct is what? Be ye wise as serpents and harmless as doves. For I send you as sheep in the midst of wolves. So your first instinct is to be like, you know, sir, or ma'am, I'm sorry, you know, I got your order wrong. Let me re-grab your order and let me remake your order again. You see? You know, let a rich Edomite get cursed out at a job. He's gonna be damn near ready to cry. Oh boy, especially if he gets chewed out by the nigger woman, he's gonna be ready to cry. Man, please just calm down. You see, he ain't gonna know how to deal with the hardness of life. You see? So we know that Yahawahshi was a man. He was an austere man who learned to suffer his whole life. Why do you think he could deal with being in constant peril of his own people trying to kill him? Not even kill, trying to murder him. Because Yahawahshi did nothing worthy of death in that present life. All he did was do his father's work. He preached the gospel. Our people got offended at what he was teaching and wanted to murder him. You see? So Yahawahshi's life was not some pin cushion pushing lifestyle. So we know that if Yahawahshi was walking the earth today, he would be a part of Great Millstone because of this alone. Okay. Now, let's get to there was another scripture I wanted to get. Okay. Bear with me for one moment. Okay. That's it. The Wadi Yahawahshi for the advice. Let's go ahead and get that. here's another reason why I say Yahawahshi would be a part of Great Millstone. Okay. Okay. Because let me tell you something else about Yahawahshi. Yahawahshi was not a man who would lie to the people. You see, this is another major sin that these other Israelite groups are guilty of breaking, lying to their congregation or hiding a portion or a piece of the truth from their congregation. Yahawahshi did not hide anything from the people he was teaching, not unless he was speaking in parables. And the reason why he spoke in parables is because Yahawahshi understood that not all of Israel was going to be delivered anyway. Okay? So he spoke in parables only to reveal them to his disciples. So either way it goes, Yahawahshi did not lie to anybody. He did not hide anything from anybody unless he was speaking in parables. Okay? So this is the book of 1 John chapter 2 verse 20. It says, "But ye have an unction from the Holy One." Who's the Holy One? That's Yahweh, through his son Yahawahshi. Okay? "But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things." So if Yahawahshi was walking the earth today, could we say that he would have 100% truth? Absolutely. Because when you read all throughout the book of Matthew, the book of Mark, the book of Luke, the book of John, what you're going to find out is that when the scribes and the Pharisees, when those wicked scribes and Pharisees came up against Yahawahshi, right? They always came at him. There were several times when they would come at him using the scriptures, like the woman that committed adultery. She got caught in the act of adultery, right? You know, they was tempting Yahawahshi, right? So what did Yahawahshi do? He started writing down their sins. Okay, all of the heinous acts that they were committing. You know, those wicked scribes and Pharisees were committing. You know, the devil, when he was when he tempted Yahawahshi in the wilderness when he was hungry, right? Did not the devil come at Yahawahshi with scriptures? But what did Yahawahshi do? Yahawahshi started quoting scriptures too. Okay? And the only way Yahawahshi could quote scriptures like that is if he was well studied in the scriptures. So did Yahawahshi know 100% truth back then? Absolutely. He did. You know, Yahawahshi always made mention of Moses. You know, he always made mention of Moses. He made mention of Isaiah. He made mention of Elijah. Okay, and a matter of fact, let's go to Google, right? I'm gonna just get some examples, show you that Yahawahshi had 100% truth, so you don't think I'm making this up. So a lot of you simple bird brain Negroes, oh no man, you just saying that. Where in the scriptures did Yahawahshi mention Elijah? Elijah is not even mentioned in the New Testament. Well, we about to prove it right now then. We about to prove it. Okay. KJV. Okay. And there's another example I would like to get too. So let's start at Matthew chapter 17, and I'll start at verse 10. Okay, and his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? Okay. So this is Yahawahshi's reply. Show you that Yahawahshi had 100% truth. Because if Yahawahshi did not have 100% truth, he would not have known how to answer them. Matthew chapter 17, verse 11. And Yahawahshi answered and said unto them, Elias, who is Elijah, truly shall first come and restore all things. Now, where is this written at? Where is this prophecy written at? Because in order for Yahawahshi to make this statement, he must have had to have known the Old Testament, right? Well, let's go to Malachi chapter 4, verse 6. Let's start at verse 5. So this is where that prophecy is written at. And did this prophecy come to pass? Yeah. Okay, we believe that Abba Bivens is Elijah, okay, who came back and restored all things. Restored what? The truth, our heritage, to our nation. Okay, Malachi, excuse me, get my mouse right here. Okay, Malachi chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Okay? And did the great and dreadful day of the Lord happen 2,000 years ago? No. It's going to happen in this time, which is why we strongly believe that Abba Bivens is Elijah. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. And he, Elijah, Abba Bivens, shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. So now let's go back to Matthew chapter 17, verse 11. Okay? And Yahawahshi answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. Okay? Now, when Yahawahshi made this statement, right, to show you that this was not talking about John the Baptist, to show you that when Yahawahshi made this statement, right, John the Baptist was already dead. Okay? Now, I forgot what chapter John the Baptist was beheaded in, but you know, but when Yahawahshi made that statement, John the Baptist was already dead. Let's further prove that. Matthew 17, verse 12. But I say unto you that Elias is come already. You see that? And that's talking about John the Baptist. And they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. And you know what that's talking about? When John got beheaded, okay? They did unto him whatsoever they listed. So Yahawahshi understood, because it was told Yahawahshi what had happened to John the Baptist. You see? So Yahawahshi knew that John the Baptist got beheaded. Okay? So they did unto Elias, aka John the Baptist, whatsoever they listed. Likewise, also the Son of Man suffer of them. Okay? Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. Okay? So when Yahawahshi said that Elias must first come and restore all things, John the Baptist was already dead. So what time frame was he talking about when he said that Elias must first come? That's talking about in this generation. Okay? In this generation. And he already came as he already came as Abba Bivens. Okay? Okay? Now let's go to, is it is it Matthew the 4th chapter, or is it, I know it's not the 5th chapter. Okay, so this is Matthew chapter 4 verse 1. Here's more proof that Yahawahshi had 100% truth. Okay, now this is early on in the book of Matthew, the 4th chapter. Okay, Matthew chapter 4 verse 1. Then was Yahawahshi led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Okay, the deceiver, the slanderer, the devil. Verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. You see, so he was starving, right? And let me also say this: when you're starving, your mind, the first priority of your mind is to think about what to consume to keep your body sustained. Food, 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 water, water, water. So you don't think Yahawahshi was thinking about food and water? Come on, man. 40 days and 40 nights of no food and water. Of course he was thinking about food and water. He was in the flesh, even though he was perfect. Okay? So the devil understood this, and he tempted Yahawahshi to eat something, right? Matthew chapter 4 verse 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. You see that? Be made food. But Yahawahshi answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. You see that? So this proves that Yahawahshi was well studied in the Holy Scriptures. Okay? Man shall not live by bread alone. And where is this written at? In the Old Testament, okay? But by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. Okay? Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple. Okay, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of Yahweh, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Okay. Yahawahshi said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt Yahweh thy power. Okay, where is that written at? That's written in the law of Moses. You see? So Yahawahshi was also well studied in the law of Moses. Okay? Matthew chapter 4 verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them. And saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Verse 10. Then saith Yahawahshi unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. And where is that written at? That's the very first commandment. That's the very first commandment in the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter. So did Yahawahshi have 100% truth? The answer is yes. Okay? And guess what? Who has 100% truth today? Great Millstone. If Yahawahshi was walking the earth today, wouldn't he not teach that the CHIP is the MOTB? Absolutely, he would teach so. Okay, Yahawahshi would not be walking around teaching that the MOTB is Christianity or philosophy or sin or something spiritual or an embargo, you know, or Christianity or sleeping with the so-called white woman. No. If Yahawahshi was walking the earth today, he'd be teaching that the MOTB is the CHIP, the CHIP. Okay? You know, he would be teaching that rape is in the scriptures. Now, we're not saying go around and grape women. We're not saying that. We're simply telling you that grape is in the Bible. Okay? RAPE is in the Bible. It's in there. And that it has nothing to do with sex. RAPE simply means to grab, to seize, to hold firm. That's all it means. Okay? You know, did not Yahawahshi keep the laws, statutes, and commandments perfectly 2,000 years ago? Okay? As a matter of fact, let's go to Leviticus, the 19th chapter, because we know that Yahawahshi would not be a part of IUIC because, well, there's guys, IUIC, they allow members in their congregation to have dreads. They allow their men to have long hair. They allow their men to have edge ups, you know. And then on top of that, their garments are purple, you know. And then on top of that, what? They're wearing t-shirt with fringes. The scriptures tell you in Revelation chapter 1 verse 13 to 15 that Yahawahshi had on a garment down to the foot. Okay? So nowhere in the scriptures does it say thou shalt put on a t-shirt with fringes. That's not scriptural, okay? Okay, so Leviticus chapter 19 verse 27, right? It says, ye shall not round the corners of your heads. Now, if you look at IUIC, right, a lot of them got edge ups. A lot of them are lined up. Their beards are lined up, okay? They're lined up. So you're not supposed to round the corners of your head. Neither shalt thou mar, meaning cut the corners of thy beard. So you got guys doing that, okay? Cutting the corners of their beard, their head. You see? And IUIC, they're guilty of breaking this law, okay? You know? Okay. So let's see, what else is there? Okay, Leviticus 19 verse 28, right? Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. Okay. Now, let's go to 1 Corinthians 11, right? Because Paul said it best, right? Do not nature tell you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him? Excuse me. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 7. Cover his head, you know. Hold on now. That's the spirit that the Lord led me here first. We know that Yahawahshi will not be a part of Sakari, right? Because Sakari, they allow men in their congregation with long hair. And then on top of that, you got men, right? We got men that, no, they have men in their congregation wearing hats while teaching. Now, what did Paul say concerning a man when he's prophesying or praying? 1 Corinthians 11 and 7. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of Yahweh. But the woman is the glory of the man. That's why the woman is to cover her head when she's praying. Okay? Okay. Ooh. Check this out. 1 Corinthians 11:4. Every man praying or prophesying having his head covered dishonoreth his head. So would Yahawahshi be a part of would Yahawahshi be a part of the Sakari? No, because they like to cover their heads when prophesying. And then Alazar, he allowed men in their congregation with long hair. He himself have long hair. You see? Okay. So now, let's do this. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. Okay. Doth not nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him? Did Yahawahshi have long hair? No. Okay. Yahawahshi kept the law perfectly. Okay. So we know that Yahawahshi did not line himself up. He did not line up the corners of his beard. And we know that he did not have long hair. Okay? And if he took the vow of a Nazarite, he will make sure to keep that law perfectly too. Now, this is probably the number one law that every single Israelite group goes off on. And this is why I know for a fact that if Yahawahshi was walking the earth today, he will be a part of Great Millstone. So let me do this. Let's type in Central F, and then, because every single one of you false Israelite groups, you're guilty of breaking this law right here. Okay, Isaiah chapter 66 verse 23. None of you false Israelite groups out here keep this law perfectly. None of you. Okay, you're all going off on this. Isaiah chapter 66 verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, right? Which proves that the Sabbath is based upon the new moon. Okay, the word moon, the word, I believe it's Shabbat. The word moon goes back to the Hebrew word Shabbat, which is where you get Sabbath from. So one new moon, right, which is the Sabbath, to another, and from one Sabbath to another. So whatever day the new moon falls on, that's what day the Sabbath is on until the next new moon. Okay, and the new moon never falls on the same day twice. I'm gonna say it again. The new moon never falls on the same day twice. Okay, if the new moon falls on Monday, when the new moon comes in again, it's either gonna fall on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. But it's not gonna fall on a Monday again. Anyways, okay. So it says, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh Israelites who are under the covenant, right, shall come to worship before me, save the Lord. Now, I'm not saying we're under the first covenant, okay? But what I am saying is that, like it tells you in Judges, the 5th chapter, we are rehearsing the righteous acts. Okay? Now, we know that Yahawahshi, when he walked the earth 2,000 plus years ago, we know he kept the laws perfectly, correct? That means that he kept every Sabbath and new moon perfectly, okay? And hell, you got guys out there teaching that you can have sex on the Sabbath. You got guys out there teaching that the Sabbath is every Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, not knowing that Friday goes back to the so-called Greek goddess Freya, who is supposed to be the goddess of fertility, growth, rest. Why do you think Friday is always the last day of school? So people can rest from all that studying and shit. You see? I remember when people used to get paid every Friday. Back in the Roman Empire, people used to get paid every Friday. So Friday really goes back to the so-called Roman goddess or Greek goddess Freya, who was supposed to be the goddess of fertility, growth, rest, prosperity, which is really no more than Ishtar worship. You know, Ishtar, same thing. You see, Ishtar, Semiramis. It's just that, you know, the Greco-Roman Empire added their own spin to it. So Freya really comes from Freya. And Saturday, don't get me started on Saturday. Saturday goes back to Saturn worship. That's why it's really supposed to be called Saturn Day. Because it is a day where they commemorate their worship and their condolences to Saturn, the planet Saturn. So how can a Sabbath be every Friday sundown to Saturday sundown? It don't make any sense. Okay? The Sabbath is based upon the new moon. Now, tonight is the Sabbath, okay? Saturday evening to Sunday evening. So, on the Sabbath, right? And a lot of you false Israelite groups out there, you're guilty of breaking this law. Okay? Because a lot of you guys, you have sex on the Sabbath, you cook on the Sabbath, you know. Now, concerning work, if you have to work, hey, look, man, we're in captivity. Like it says in Judges, the 5th chapter, we are rehearsing the righteous acts. But if you don't have to work, you ain't got no business working on the Sabbath, especially if it's your day off. You know, you got guys who's working out on the Sabbath, doing exercises on the Sabbath. Look, man, the Sabbath, the word Sabbath means to rest. It is a day where you rest, you relax, chill out. You know, like chill. You know, Jake be doing extra, man. You know, today is the Sabbath. You know, I'm gonna head to the gym. I'm gonna lift some weights, do some push-ups. Don't you know, in the book of Numbers, a man was put to death for picking up sticks on the Sabbath? And sticks are nowhere near as heavy as weights. But you see, another reason why I know that Yahawahshi will be a part of Great Millstone is because Great Millstone is the only camp that keeps the Sabbath correctly. You see, we're the only group that keep the Sabbath correctly. Ain't nobody else teaching that the new moon, the Sabbath is based upon the new moon. You know, you got some guys who say, well, you don't have to keep the Sabbath. Blah 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 blah. Well, hey, when it's time for you to be judged, don't say we didn't warn you. Don't say we didn't warn you, man. Okay, because the Lord is about to start bringing serious judgment down on the earth. Okay, now let's go to Google, because Another thing that you false Israelite camps go off on is declaring all the counsel of the Lord. Okay? To declare unto you all the counsel, KJV. Now just type that in. So this is Acts the 20th chapter, right? So this is the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 27. Let me see. You know what? Let me see. Okay. Acts chapter 20, verse 26. Wherefore I take unto you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men. Why? Why are you pure from the blood of all men? For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of Yahawah. Now, what's a part of the counsel of Yahawah? America is Babylon, and that Babylon is going to be destroyed. A lot of you Israelite groups out there, you don't even teach that that America is Babylon. You don't teach that Babylon is going to be destroyed in a coming nuclear war. You know, that's a part of, isn't that not a part of the counsel of Yahawah? You know, excuse me, just a moment. Okay. What else is a part of the counsel of Yahawah? Cornelius is an Israelite. You still got guys out there who say that Cornelius is not an Israelite. So you know they have shunned to declare all the counsel of the Lord. You know, GOCC, they teach that Edomites can make it. You got some groups out there who say that not all Edomites are going to be slaves in the kingdom. Some of them are going to be employees. They're going to be wearing suits with Stacey Adams, working a part-time job. Hell nah. You see? But you see, that's another example of how they have shunned to declare all the counsel of Yahawah. Because the counsel of Yahawah is that all Edomites are going to be slaves in the kingdom of heaven, as well as the heathen nations. You still got guys out there trying to save the other nations. Well, that's because you are shunning to declare all the counsel of Yahawah. Now, if Yahawahshi was walking the earth today, don't you think he would declare all the counsel of Yahawah? Okay? Yahawahshi knew that there was going to be slaves in the kingdom. Why do you think he told that woman at the well that the true worshipers will come to worship? Because he knew that the woman at the well was not an Israelite. Okay? And that one day she's either going to be a concubine or she's going to be a slave out there in the field working. Okay? So Yahawahshi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, he knew that the Israelites will have slaves in the kingdom. Okay? And a matter of fact, Yahawahshi hated the Romans. Okay? He was born under their oppression. You know, Yahawahshi knew that there was Israelites. Oh, and that's another thing. You know, you guys, a lot of you false Israelite groups out there, you don't teach that there are Israelites that look like people of the other nations. You don't teach that. You don't teach about the diaspora, the dispersed. James chapter 1 verse 1, to the Israelites scattered abroad. You don't teach that there are Israelites that look like people of the other nations. Yahawahshi knew that there were Israelites that look like people of the other nations? Why do you think in the book of Matthew, the 10th chapter, Yahawahshi said this? Let me just get it real quick. Okay. Yahawahshi knew that there were Israelites that looked like people of the other nations. Okay. Let me see. Come on. Matthew chapter 10, verse 45. All right. Let's go to Matthew, book of Matthew, 10 verse 24. Okay. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Matthew chapter 10 verse 5. These 12 Yahawahshi sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles. Now, why would Yahawahshi say that? Because there were Israelites that looked like Gentiles, but they were Israelites. And into any of the cities of the Samaritans enter ye not. Why? Because those are nothing but heathens there. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay. There you go. To the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now, of course, first and foremost, we know that the disciples didn't really go amongst the Israelites that look like the people of the other nations and teach, because really the ministry opened up to the Israelites that look like the people of the other nations when Paul came on the scene. But this saying right here, you can still use this saying today. You can use this saying right here, Matthew 10 and 6, to say, hey, look, the lost sheep can also apply to Israelites that look like people of the other nations, who think they are of that nation, but they're really Israelites, but don't know it. So Yahawahshi covered everything, man. So if Yahawahshi was walking the earth today, he would know about the Israelites that look like the people of the other nations. Okay? Oh, and another thing about Yahawahshi, okay? Yahawahshi was a spiritual man, a very spiritual man. A lot of you false Israelite groups out there, you're not spiritual. A guy might come up to your camp in the summertime or in the springtime, and he might be listening to you. He might agree with what you're saying, but then you'll kick him to the curb because he looks like a so-called white person. So we know Yahawahshi would not be a part of you false Israelite groups. Because if Yahawahshi was walking the earth today, he would judge by the spirit, not by outward appearance. You see? He would judge by the spirit, not by outward appearance. You guys, you judge by outward appearance because there's nothing spiritual about you. You see? So yeah, I just wanted to give my take on it. If Yahawahshi was on the earth today, what group would he be with? Well, he will be with Great Millstone, and I use scriptures to back up my claim. With that, I'm going to say shalom. So on to the next one.